Hello and welcome to this Tuesday edition of Cronkite Sports Now. I'm Adam Noel. Thanks for joining us. As the Arizona COVID-19 cases continue to rise, the Phoenix City Council is set to decide whether to cancel roughly 30 upcoming youth sports tournaments between now and February. Mayor Kate Gallego is facing criticism for allowing 500 teams to play in a soccer tournament over Thanksgiving weekend. Many of those teams came from out of state. The City Council is expected to decide on Wednesday whether to ban any future tournaments, allow only in-state teams to play, or move forward with the tournaments as scheduled. Local soccer clubs insist they have been taking the necessary steps to allow kids to compete safely and hope play will continue.
If the city council decides that, these tournaments can go on, but we're not going to allow any in-state team or out-of-state teams, I guess that's better than not allowing play at all and closing down the fields. I would rather them do that than close down the fields.
Fresh off a win over St. Mary's, the Arizona State women's basketball team is off to its best start since 2017. The Sun Devils improved to 3-0 with a 62-53 home win over the Gales. ASU had 4 players reach 9 points, including sophomore Sydney Caldwell, who hit this shot at the buzzer to end the first half. And although ASU won all 3 games by nearly double digits, each contest proved to be a test for head coach Charlie Turner-Thorne's young squad.
It was just really good for us to get these games under our belt going into Pac-12, and I'm really proud of our team. Clearly we're a work in progress, as we should be, because we have no returning starters. We have a very, very young team, but a lot of talent.
Sticking with ASU hoops, Sun Devil guard Josh Christopher was named this week's Pac-12 Freshman of the Week. This comes after Christopher averaged 18.7 points in his first 3 games as a Sun Devil. Christopher shot a resounding 58% from the field in ASU's opening games of the season. Against then number 3 Villanova, the freshman went for a career-high 28 points. That performance already puts him 9th in program history for the most points scored by a freshman. The 28 points are also tied for the most by a freshman in Division I basketball this season. Following 3 straight game cancellations, Arizona State football is looking to return to action this week. With only 1 game under their belts, the Sun Devils have been hit hardest in the Pac-12 by the coronavirus. But head coach Herm Edwards is optimistic his team will take the field against UCLA this weekend.
We're doing everything we can do to make sure that we're all available to go. And I think that has been the cry from everyone, from coaches, players, everyone involved in the building. And it's a shame, we went almost 8 months, and we were doing a pretty good job, and then it affected us.
With the addition of Chris Paul and the departure of Ricky Rubio, the Phoenix Suns offense is set to undergo a change in pace. Suns head coach Monty Williams talked about what sort of differences we can expect to see with CP3 at the helm.
He has an ability to make people around him better. We saw it last year in Oklahoma City. I just saw a quote from Dennis Schroeder talking about how much he learned from Chris. I've seen it from Shea. I've had conversations with Coach Donovan about how Chris helped their program.
COVID-19 is affecting people from all walks of life. And for those who are already struggling with poverty, the effects of the virus can be devastating. Cronkite News reporter Saranda Marie Boyne finds out how some Arizona athletes are pitching in to help.
There are rows upon rows of empty seats this season that are normally filled with fans due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The average football stadium seats around 70,000 spectators, about the same number of children who were left unsponsored in Compassion International's humanitarian aid program.
This is a stadium. We know what 70,000 looks like at this park or that park. And if you can imagine, number one, that being 70,000 children, and then number 2, that being empty, and really realizing we need the support for each of those children is kind of what we're saying is populating that stadium, one child at a time.
Compassion International is teaming up with professional athletes from all sports to help fill the stadium with sponsored children in the most poverty-stricken areas of the world.
When you break down financially how it works for a 4-person family, for example, a mom and dad and 2 kids to go to an NFL game on a Sunday, it's going to cost you about $500. That $500 can sponsor a child to sit in that stadium and sponsor a child for an entire year and pay for a kid's food, clothing, water.
These athletes aren't just highlighting the program on their social media, they are financially contributing to the cause as well.
The cool thing about this initiative is all the players and athletes are going first. It's not just something we're talking about, it's something we're supporting ourselves.
Nick Ahmed had already contributed $75,000 into this personally, and then added $25,000 more as a challenge gift to try to encourage fans to match and get involved. Carson Palmer made a commitment to $300,000 towards this. That's also a challenge match.
This aid is critical. These children are on the brink of starvation due to the pandemic, since their parents can't go to work to make enough money to buy food and are struggling financially.
When their families are forced to stay home and their parents or whoever is taking care of the kids are having to stay home, they don't have supplies at home. They don't have extra food laying around. They don't have clean water to drink. So the shutdown affects them even more than it would affect us.
Currently, the initiative has filled a little over 16,000 seats or sponsored 16,000 children. But they have the goal to fill the entire stadium by the Super Bowl, which is scheduled to take place on February 7th.
We've seen a lot of progress, and we'd love to invite people to help us little by little. Just fill one seat. Just get your soccer team to fill one seat. Get your family to fill one seat, or give $25 towards filling one seat.
With the holidays right around the corner, it's the perfect time to give back to those in need. Reporting for Cronkite News, I'm Serena Raboyne.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have yourself a great rest of the day. For sports updates from all across the Valley, be sure to follow us on Twitter at @SportsCronkite. I'm Adam Noel, and we'll see you next time.